Arnold here, co-founder Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. Looking in at the Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin, some wild price action shooting through everything, eventually getting to 2,800. Again, watch the round numbers. Then, remember we talk about getting overextended from the rotation zone. This all the way up here, 2,800, dropping all the way back down into the rotation zone on the 4-hour chart, now rotating back up. That's why you still have to pay attention to the rotation zone. Things do return to them at some point. So, on a continued move higher, we're going to use the GAN levels from the start of pretty much the move that launched it all the way up to the highs and then rotate around those GAN levels. That's why we do use the GAN levels, because price action tends to move between them rather nicely. So, as it moves back up, our next target we're watching is 1660. Then 1944. What's really key for it to hold is the bottom of this rotation zone, so 1175 to 1150, somewhere in there. If we do get a key close below that, we'll be watching 1100 or 1090, and then if we break below that, if this does go back down, because it did go pretty far, we'd watch for 983 and then around the 920 area. But right now it's rotating back up. So our next target to the upside, we're watching for this 1660. Switching over to Bitcoin, also on that big ramp up in Bitcoin Cash, when it looks like everybody was piling into Bitcoin Cash and dumping Bitcoin trading down to a low of 5,400. Wow, round number again. So then rebounding very quickly, just as Bitcoin Cash sold off back to rotation zone really quickly. This got overextended and then returned to the rotation zone. Funny about that. Now it's moving back down. This is why if you do pick up stuff, you can always unwind as it gets especially near the 8 or just into the rotation zone, and then look to put some back on lower when you're trading against the rotation zone. When you're trading with the rotation zone, you're watching for pullbacks in the rotation zone to accumulate some and then move up to the GAN projection levels like we do. So if this continues back down, we're now watching for the target of about 5,700. We have a 5682 level, so 5682 to 5,700. And let's zoom out to the daily to get the bigger perspective, and then the weekly. Here's our daily. You see it traded below the 50, which is now flat, all the way down to this prior support. So this was prior support, traded just below that. Almost to a move that started this, almost to the lows that started this last move. Now this is critical. So here's our 5682 to 5700 level. Then we'll watch for a retest of 5508. And then if we do break below this low that was formed on the big sell-offs is 5,420 cents. The next minor levels, 5266, 5132, and the major levels, you can see this is a prior breakout zone. So that's going to be 4909 area. Let's check in on the weekly and where we stand to the rotation zone on the weekly. Remember, we talked about it eventually returning to the rotation zone, and it did spike into it. Now, this is also a bearish engulfing bar. This is not a very strong sign. So we should continue to at least see some consolidation or further pullback in price. That's what we'll be watching for. Again, some of these sell-offs don't normally happen in 1 week. This did. Just happened in the last couple days. So this is a big, huge price movement. And finally, returning us to the rotation zone on the weekly. You can see the bigger picture there. And if we do break below this 4909, the next major target on the weekly would be the weekly breakout zone from the candle bodies, which would be about 45.98, so essentially 4,600, which takes us relatively close to the bottom of the rotation zone. So nothing to panic about. This just means we get to accumulate lower and wait for reversal patterns. There haven't been any great reversal patterns. If you remember, don't get greedy. If you're able to pick stuff up, don't go beyond the 4-hour rotation zone. You can always unwind and look to add it lower, especially if you're trading around the core position. Also, if this does go into consolidation or continues to pull back, looks like we'll get the cross on the daily, the first cross of rotation zone right here on the daily, which then means any accumulations, we have to start watching that for possible profit taking until the rotation zone gets back in our favor. That's what we have for you on this quick Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin update. Hope these videos are helping you, and we will talk to you again shortly. Have fun trading the cryptos. Bye for now.